President Obama's overseas trip. Air Force One took off from Turkey today, but instead of heading home to Washington, it flew the other way and went into Iraq for an unannounced presidential visit with American troops as well as Iraqi leaders. Yunji Denise has more.
President Obama said he came to Baghdad first and foremost to thank the troops.
Under enormous strain and under enormous sacrifice, through controversy and difficulty and politics, you've kept your eyes focused.
At Saddam Hussein's former palace, the president was greeted by hundreds of American men and women in uniform. He said the next 18 months will be critical to their mission and that the Iraqis need to carry more of the burden themselves.
They need to take responsibility for their country and for their sovereignty. And in order for them to do that, they've got to make political accommodations.
Mr. Obama met with the U.S. Commander, General Ray Odierno, and Iraq's president and prime minister. With the country's elections just months away, the president is urging unity and says a political solution is the only path to true progress. Just hours before, at a town hall in Istanbul, the president told a group of students that while he's always opposed the war, as commander-in-chief, he will give the troops and the Iraqi government all the support they need.
Now that we're there, I have a responsibility to make sure that as we bring troops out, that we do so in a careful enough way that you don't see a complete collapse into violence.
President Obama said he and Prime Minister Maliki agreed to stick to the 2011 timetable for U.S. troop withdrawal. His visit lasted in Baghdad just about 4 hours, capping off what has been his first attempt to fix a whole host of shared world problems. For the World News webcast, Yunji Denise, ABC News, Istanbul.
And for more on the president's surprise stopover in Baghdad, we're joined by senior foreign correspondent Martha Raddatz, who has been there many, many times herself. And Martha, the fact that he ended his European trip in Turkey led me to believe he's probably going to go somewhere afterward, not right back to Washington. But I thought for sure Afghanistan, and yet he went to Iraq.
Well, Robert Gibbs explained on Air Force One that because he was so close to Iraq, he really is, that he wanted to go into Iraq. And Iraq is all about a drawdown. This is the first time he has been to Iraq, not only as president, but the first time he has been to Iraq since he announced the drawdown, and over the next 18 months they will be concentrating on that. I think another reason, Charlie, is probably because he wants to bolster those troops there. Iraq, in many ways, has become the forgotten war, and Afghanistan, there's so much focus on Afghanistan. I'm sure in the future sometime you will see Barack Obama go to Afghanistan, but they are just starting to increase the troops there, where they are drawing down the troops in Iraq, so perhaps that's a better news story.
So we have the status of forces agreement with the Iraqis, all troops out by the end of 2011. And yet we've had an uptick of violence recently again in Iraq, and I wonder if people are still, American forces are still, commanders are still comfortable with that timetable.
Well, I think one of the things, and I talked to Ray Odierno just last month about the drawdown and how comfortable he was with that. I think he has a lot of leeway here. If he wants to leave more troops in for many more months, he can do that. Right now, he said he thought he'd be down to about 120,000 troops by January of next year. That's still an awful lot of troops. They want to get down to 50,000 troops by August of 2010, but he can take that at whatever rate he thinks is best. And I thought that was very interesting, hearing President Obama say they wanted to do it carefully. He knows that there's been an uptick in violence. They don't want to rush those troops out of there. But I was also awfully interested, Charlie, to hear President Obama say that he and the Iraqis still agree on a complete withdrawal in 2011. That could certainly change. The Iraqis could come back and say, wait a minute, maybe we don't want those final 50,000 troops out of there.
All right, Martha Raddatz down in Washington. Thanks very much to you.
You bet.